This is Mel Pine with an episode of the From the Pure Land podcast. Today's is called Stopping the Second Arrow, Buddhism's Essence. How would you summarize the core of the teachings? In my manuscript for the spiritual memoir, tentatively titled From Pain to Peace, Tragedies and Violent Deaths Taught Me Wisdom and Compassion, I've aimed for readers from any faith. Only in the last 3 chapters do I detail how Buddhism specifically helped me. I'm now working on an appendix for people interested in learning the basics of Buddhism. As I answered a question that Westerners typically have about Buddhism, I realized I'd expressed what, for me, is the core. So here's the Q&A that I drafted. Isn't Buddhism nihilistic, teaching that life is suffering? The Buddhist didn't teach that life is suffering. He taught that suffering is an inevitable part of life. And he used a word, dukkha in Pali, that can be translated as dissatisfaction. He wasn't saying that following his teachings would do away with pain. He taught a way to stop turning the inevitable pain into angst. The Buddha uses a 2-arrow metaphor in the Salatha Sutta. Here's a paraphrase. When an ordinary person experiences painful feelings, they experience 2 arrows: the bodily pain itself and the mental anguish that follows. It's like being struck by 1 arrow and then immediately struck by a second arrow. But when a wise person experiences painful feeling, they feel only the first arrow, the actual physical sensation, without adding the second arrow of mental suffering. The bodily pain is not a wound, but the unavoidable suffering that comes with having a body and being alive. Illness, aging, the loss of what we love. The second arrow is our mental and emotional reaction to the first. It's our resistance. It's our, why me? Our catastrophizing, our shame about being in pain, our anxiety about the future, our rumination about the past. I prefer not to use the word enlightenment because it carries a lot of baggage, assorted differently among the various Buddhist traditions. But I'm clear on this. When we learn how to remove the second arrow, we awaken to a life of joy, peace, and compassion for ourselves and others. Nothing can be expressed fully in a sentence, but that one, for me, is the essence of my sense of Buddhism. I didn't understand this truth without the help of practices that were developed and taught after the Buddha's lifetime, like nature of mind meditation. But those practices brought me back to the early teachings. Now I understand them in ways I hadn't decades earlier. I'm curious about how you might express your thoughts about the core of Buddhism. Please share them in the comments to this Substack post. And I'll start a Substack chat on the subject as well. If you're watching or listening to this and you're not on Substack, you can find my website at melpine.substack.com. Click on this post and add your thoughts. While you're at it, include what books on the basics of Buddhism you recommend for the curious about Buddhism. I'm adding a list like that to the appendix and welcome your suggestions. Oh, and for your holiday shopping, the ebook version of A Buddhist Path to Joy by Mel Pine is on sale everywhere until January 1st for $2.99. For your friends on Spotify or other audiobook platforms, consider giving them the self-narrated version. The ebook, the paperback, and the audiobook are available on online retailers everywhere. You might even be able to get them from your local library. May you all be well and happy.